Liverpool find themselves standing at a crossroads that could reshape their entire attacking future, triggering Antoine Semenyo's £65 million release clause as early as January. A player who has already caused Liverpool plenty of headaches on the pitch is now emerging as the leading candidate to eventually succeed Mohamed Salah, and that alone has Anfield buzzing with equal parts excitement and nervous laughter. Semenyo isn't some mysterious outsider. He's proven in the Premier League, scored against the biggest teams, and knows exactly how to disrupt even the most disciplined backlines, including Liverpool's. But the real question whispering in every supporter's mind is this: can he truly step into the space Salah has turned into a legend stage? Or are Liverpool rolling the dice during a delicate transition under Arne Slot? The squad needs pace, unpredictability, and a forward who can be dangerous from anywhere across the front line. Semenyo checks all those boxes, yet he brings his own set of uncertainties. And that tension between promise and risk is precisely what makes this potential move one of the most intriguing storylines Liverpool fans will debate this season.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love.
Semenyo's rise in the Premier League is not a coincidence or a brief streak of form. It is the result of steady development, physical maturity, and the bold confidence of a player who understands exactly how to weaponize his strengths. Since joining Bournemouth from Bristol City in early 2023, he has not merely adapted to the top flight, he has grown into one of its most disruptive attacking pieces. With 26 goals and 12 assists across 92 Premier League matches, and an even sharper output of 17 goals and 9 assists in just 48 games since the start of last season, Semenyo has quietly built a resume that demands attention. Liverpool fans may not have followed Bournemouth every weekend, but they certainly noticed the moments when Semenyo punished us, because he did it with an almost irritating consistency. What makes him so effective is not just his scoring numbers, but the style in which he earns them. Semenyo is a forward who thrives in chaos. Give him transition space, a defender on the back foot, or even a messy second ball, and he turns it into a direct threat. His power, acceleration, and ability to stay upright under pressure give him a profile that Premier League defenders hate dealing with. He is aggressive without being reckless, explosive without losing control, and clever enough to pick out quick passing combinations when defenders step across too late. On the right wing, his preferred side, he attacks the fullback's blind shoulder, driving inside with purpose or staying wide to stretch the pitch. But his versatility is more than a bullet point on a scouting report. Semenyo has played on the left and even centrally, always bringing the same energy and vertical danger. For a coach like Arne Slot, who values fluid attacking rotations and pressing intensity, this flexibility is pure gold. And that's where the intrigue grows. Under Slot, Liverpool are shifting toward a more interconnected front three, where players interchange roles rather than stick to rigid lanes. Semenyo's movement patterns fit that model. He presses like a midfielder, carries the ball like a winger, and finishes like a striker who trusts his instincts. He has the work rate to lead a counter-press and the stamina to repeat high-intensity runs for 90 minutes. It's no surprise that Slot wants more pace in the side. Liverpool have lacked that blistering burst in certain matches, the kind that forces opponents to drop 5 meters deeper than they want to. Semenyo brings exactly that psychological effect. But numbers and traits alone don't explain why so many Premier League analysts think this move could actually work. What pushes the argument forward is the context of his performances. Semenyo doesn't just score in routine matches, he turns up in big ones. Against Liverpool, City, United, Chelsea, he finds pockets of space, takes risks, and plays with a freedom that suggests he enjoys being the underdog who ruins someone else's script. That mentality matters at Anfield. The club's best forwards, Suarez, Mane, Salah, were not just talented, they were relentless competitors who relished disrupting the rhythm of elite teams. Semenyo has a similar spark, a willingness to challenge established hierarchies. He also carries the maturity of a player who has learned the hard way. Bournemouth under Andoni Iraola demand technical discipline, defensive responsibility, and non-stop running. Semenyo has survived and thrived in that demanding system, proving he can handle structure as well as improvisation. Slot's tactical schemes are even more layered, but Semenyo has shown he can grow into complex roles rather than shrink under them. For Liverpool supporters wondering whether Semenyo is simply a purple patch story, the evidence suggests otherwise. His consistency across multiple seasons, his adaptability to various tactical setups, and his performances against top opposition paint a picture of a player who may be entering his prime at exactly the moment Liverpool need a new spark. And while the idea of replacing Salah feels almost sacrilegious, the emergence of a physically dominant, tactically versatile and mentally resilient forward like Semenyo offers at least a glimpse of how Liverpool's next attacking chapter could begin. Yet, for all the excitement surrounding Semenyo, the move is anything but straightforward. The £65 million release clause may simplify negotiations with Bournemouth, but it doesn't remove the questions that hover around the signing like a stubborn defender who refuses to step off. Liverpool have spent heavily in recent windows, and while the squad has undeniably improved in certain areas, the team's needs across the pitch remain significant. It's hard to ignore the tension between the appeal of adding a dynamic forward and the reality of gaps in midfield and defence that still demand attention. For some supporters, prioritising Semenyo feels a bit like buying a new TV when the roof still leaks. Nice, but perhaps not the smartest order of operations. Part of the concern stems from stylistic fit. Semenyo thrives in a system built on vertical chaos, rapid transitions, and moments where the game fractures into a sprinting contest. Bournemouth under Iraola practically encourage him to run wild, press, chase, burst past defenders, and unleash quick shots before the opposition block can reset. Liverpool under Slot are different. The Dutchman wants control, sustained pressure, fluid circulation of the ball, and carefully manufactured attacking sequences. Semenyo can adapt. He has already shown growth in structured play. But it's still a legitimate question. Can he become a forward who excels not only in broken play scenarios, but also in deliberate, choreographed phases of possession? Supporters have seen similar questions before. Darwin Núñez, for all his explosive gifts, still wrestles with the nuances of a system that demands more than just athletic brilliance. Cody Gakpo has had to reinvent his role more than once. Even Luis Diaz, a more system-friendly winger, had to adjust after arriving from Porto. For Semenyo, the shift would be even more dramatic, from a Bournemouth side that lives on adrenaline to a Liverpool team trying to blend pressing intensity with possession control. The talent is there, but the adaptation curve cannot be ignored. Then there's the Salah question. Replacing a player like Mohamed Salah is less a task and more a multi-year expedition. Salah isn't just a winger, he's a system, a gravitational pull, a tactical shortcut, and a plan B and plan C all in one. His output has been absurd for 7 straight seasons, and even at 33, he still bends games to his will. Expecting Semenyo to step into that space immediately would border on unfair. Semenyo doesn't have Salah's left-footed wizardry or creative playmaking range. He's more direct, more physical, and more chaotic, a different kind of threat entirely. Liverpool would not be buying a clone. They would be pledging to reshape the right side of their attack around a new profile of forward. And yet, perhaps that's the point. Liverpool have already begun to shift away from the Salah-centric blueprint. More patterns run through the left wing, more interchanges occur through midfield, and the team relies less on one superstar to unlock games. Semenyo may not be the next Salah, but he could be the first version of something new. A wide forward who presses relentlessly, dribbles aggressively, and injects unpredictability without carrying the expectation of 30-goal seasons. The club has succeeded before with forwards who didn't arrive as finished products but became elite through coaching and fit. Still, the financial element looms large. £65 million for a player who has never featured in European competition, never carried the attacking burden for a top-6 club, and has just entered his prime is a gamble by any definition. Liverpool have historically been shrewd, minimising risk through meticulous data-led recruitment. Semenyo fits their physical and statistical profile, but the jump in responsibility would be enormous. If he thrives, the fee will look like a masterstroke. If he stumbles, it will be another reminder of how treacherous the post-Salah era could become. Ultimately, Semenyo represents both opportunity and uncertainty, the classic Liverpool dilemma in a transition year. His arrival could spark a new chapter of energy, speed and unpredictability. But before committing £65 million, the club must decide whether now is the right moment to place such a big bet on potential rather than certainty.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no...
Liverpool stand at a moment that feels both familiar and unsettling. The uneasy space between what the squad is now and what it must become. Antoine Semenyo embodies that crossroads perfectly. A player with enough ambition, power and unpredictability to light up Anfield on his best day, yet also carrying the uncertainty that naturally accompanies any step into elite expectations. He offers something Liverpool genuinely need: raw pace, direct threat, and the kind of fearless mentality that refuses to respect the hierarchy of big clubs. But he also represents a strategic question the club must answer honestly. Are they ready to reshape their attack around a new kind of forward, or should their focus remain on rebuilding the core of the team first? If Liverpool believes Semenyo can evolve within Arne Slot's system and grow into a long-term pillar, then £65 million might end up looking like a bargain a few years from now. If not, the move could become another reminder of how difficult the post-Salah era will be. In many ways, this decision isn't just about Semenyo. It's about the direction Liverpool choose to take at a defining moment. And whichever path they pick, it will tell us everything about their vision for the next era at Anfield.
For the fakeness, if you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough